Hey everybody, welcome to a behind the scenes episode of the M1 Gear channel. Right now, I'm just gonna clean the DJI Phantom 4 and show you how I'm cleaning it.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
So I was flying the Phantom 4 today and it got pretty dirty. We were launching from a road surface that was freshly paved, so it was covered in dust and dirt, and dust blew everywhere when I took off, so I wanted to make sure I cleaned the drone here. So first thing I like to use is just regular old wipes, antibacterial hand wipes. Use the antibacterial because they're alcohol based, so you're not getting moisture that won't evaporate on your camera, no water. You're just using alcohol, and you're just using the damp cloth to pick up the dust, not just blow it around into the air. The remote can get kind of dirty because a lot of times your hands get dirty. It's good to keep it wiped down. There's a lot of open ports here as well. The remote sometimes may be put down on the ground or onto a surface that's not exactly the cleanest, so it's good to make sure you wipe these things down occasionally. Now the joysticks get a little bit tricky here because you get into this little more intricate detail. I try to give it a good wipe in here and move them around, get out that gunk that builds up. That is really what you need to clean on this more than anything, is inside the joystick. Now after you wiped it off, I like to take a little canned air here. One, it dries off any remaining alcohol. Make sure it's dry in there. Also gets rid of any other remaining dust that might be buried. Get all my ports out. The blades are pretty straightforward. They're solid plastic, perfect for wiping down with an antibacterial wipe, making sure they're all good and clean, ready to fly. It's also a good time to inspect your blades, make sure you haven't come up with any nicks or dents in the blades from travel and transport, or maybe running into a tree. Doing this is a true behind the scenes because we had a long day and I just needed to do this anyway, so I figured I'd take a second and film it for you all. Show you what I was doing to keep my gear in top working order. Now inside the drone, this is where canned air is definitely going to help you out. You can of course take a wipe and wipe in there a little bit. Not likely gotten too much dust in there, but if you've never done it, you might be surprised. You have to be careful when you're cleaning the gimbal because you don't want to damage it by putting too much pressure. You have to make sure you support it with your other hand. And make sure you don't bend the motors in any direction that they're not used to going, right? This doesn't normally rotate, so I'm not going to try to pivot the motors and the head here. I rotate the entire drone itself to get to the other angles that I want to. Most of the time, you should be flying with some type of UV cover or the default cover or an ND filter, just to make sure you're protecting the lens of the drone. So you want to take that off, make sure you give it a good clean here. Now dry that off. Now I put my supports on the camera right away in the field, so they're probably dirty too, right? I just finished cleaning the camera. I'm going to put a dirty support back onto the front of the camera? No. Make sure you wipe off all components. All right, well that is one clean drone. Thanks for watching the behind the scenes here on the M1 Gear channel. We'll see you next time.